This is news analysis coming to you live on Politics Business TV Abuja. Many thanks for joining us on the program for today. I'm Fatima Abubakar Oibo. The headlines. Nathan Khan welcomed Trump's call for peace and unity in Nigeria. PDP power struggle intensifies as governors clash with Wike. NEMA delivers vital relief Kano flood victims. And foreigners in Vietnam devastated by record floods as a death toll hits 40. Details of the stories and more to come shortly after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back. Now the news in full. In a surprising diplomatic gesture, President Donald Trump has issued a statement urging peace and unity across Nigeria, drawing commendation from the Northern chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN. The group described Trump's message as timely and encouraging, especially amid ongoing regional tensions and calls for national reconciliation. Northern CAN leaders emphasized that such international voices can help reinforce domestic efforts towards healing and inclusive dialogue. The association further noted that Trump's appeal aligns with the long-standing advocacy for peace and existence among Nigeria's diverse religious and ethnic communities. Called on Nigerian leaders to seize the moment and intensified efforts to foster unity, justice, and equitable development. As reactions continue to pour in, Northern CAN expressed hope that this statement would inspire renewed commitment to national harmony and constructive engagement across all sectors. Meanwhile, the internal crisis within Nigeria's People's Democratic Party, PDP, has deepened as several state governors reportedly confront Minister Nyesom Wike over his growing influence within the party. Tensions have escalated amid accusations of political maneuvering and factional dominance, with rival blocs vying for control of the PDP's national structure. Sources close to the party say the standoff is threatening to derail reconciliation efforts and could impact the PDP's strategic positioning ahead of future elections. Party insiders reveal that the governors are pushing back against what they describe as Wike's unilateral decisions and perceived attempts to sideline other stakeholders. Meanwhile, loyalists of the former Rivers State governor maintain that his actions are aimed at restoring discipline and cohesion within the party. As factions digging, analysts warn that the PDP risks further fragmentation unless urgent steps are taken to mediate the crisis and restore internal unity. In another development, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has commenced the distribution of relief materials to victims of recent flooding in Kano State. The intervention comes after torrential rains displaced hundreds of residents and damaged critical infrastructure across several communities. Items distributed include food supplies, mattresses, blankets, and other essential household goods aimed at alleviating the immediate suffering of affected families. Officials from NEMA emphasize that the agency remains committed to supporting disaster-hit regions and working with state authorities to ensure equitable distribution. Local leaders and beneficiaries express gratitude for the swift response, calling it a lifeline during a time of crisis. As cleanup efforts continue, NEMA urged residents to remain vigilant and adhere to safety guidelines to mitigate future flood risk. Let's watch news analysis right here on Politics and Business Television Abuja. Still to come, Doherty urges Senate investigation into controversial patrol duty. Details of this headline and more news content after a quick break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now let's move on to business matters. A fresh wave of political scrutiny is building as prominent lawmaker Ade Doherty has called on the Nigerian Senate to launch a full-scale investigation into the recently introduced petrol duty. Speaking at a press briefing, Doherty described the levy as burdensome and lacking transparency, warning that it could further strain the finances of ordinary Nigerians already grappling with high fuel prices and inflation. He asked the Senate to summon relevant government agencies to explain the rationale behind the duty and its projected economic impact. Doherty emphasized the need for accountability and public interest in all fiscal policies, stressing that Nigerians deserve clarity on how such decisions are made. The call has sparked debate across political lines, with many awaiting the Senate's response to what could become a defining issue in the country's economic discourse. Now moving on to the foreign scene, Vietnam is facing a humanitarian crisis as record-breaking floods through central and northern regions, claiming at least 40 lives and displacing thousands. Torrential rains have triggered landslides, submerged homes, and cut off vital infrastructure, leaving many communities stranded. Rescue operations are underway, with emergency teams working tirelessly to reach affected areas and provide relief to survivors. Government officials have declared a state of emergency in the worst-hit provinces as residents to evacuate and brace for continued rainfall. Aid agencies and local volunteers are mobilizing resources, distributing food, water, and medical supplies to those in need. As the nation mourns its losses, calls for stronger climate resilience and disaster preparedness are growing louder across the region. And now for sport news, let's join Abel Sunday.
Good day and welcome to P&B Sport News Update. And on Sunday, it was a big weekend of a La Liga action as the giant of Spanish football made bold statement. At the Santiago Bernabeu, Real Madrid were simply unstoppable, crushing Valencia 4-0 in front of their home fans. Jude Bellingham was once again the star of the show, pulling the string in the midfield as Madrid looked every bit like title contenders under Xavi Alonso. Meanwhile, over in Catalonia, Barcelona continued their chase with a 3-1 victory over Lecce. Youngster Lamine Yamal dazzled the crowd with his pace and creativity, while Rashford added his name to the score sheet to seal all 3 points for Barcelona. That's your P&B Sport News Update. I'm Abel Sunday.
Welcome back. Let's move on to the focus of today on Politics and Business Television, the program that goes beyond the headlines and into the heart of Nigerians' most sensitive conversations. Today, we are tackling a controversial and emotional topic, shaking both the political and religious corridor of power. Has the Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) betrayed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu despite juicy appointments and inclusion in his administration? This debate follows a diplomatic shockwave. Former US President Donald Trump's recent claim that Christians in Nigeria are being persecuted, labeling Nigeria as a country of particular concern, and even threatening military intervention. Reports suggest that Trump's comments were influenced by a brief allegedly supplied by Khan, a document that, according to several sources, painted Nigeria as a country under religious siege. But critics say this is a dangerous exaggeration that could harm the nation's image globally. They accuse Khan of misrepresentation, disloyalty, and even political sabotage against the government that has shown deliberate inclusion of Christian leaders in key positions. Since assuming office, President Tinubu has been praised for balancing appointments from ministers to heads of parastatals, ensuring visible Christian representation across regions. Yet, instead of gratitude, his administration now faces international embarrassment and potential diplomatic tension with the United States. Nigerians on social media haven't held back. One ex-user wrote, "Khan is becoming a political party, not a moral voice. You can't run to foreigners and expect national respect." Another comment reads, "Religious groups are meant to unite the people, not arm foreign powers with propaganda." But not everyone agrees. A few voices argue that Khan only told the truth about ongoing killings and that government denial is part of the problem. So, who's right? Has Khan crossed the line between advocacy and betrayal, or are they simply holding government accountable on moral grounds? To help us navigate this highly sensitive and explosive topic, joining us via WhatsApp call is Professor Ishaq Akintola, the Executive Director of the Muslim Rights Council, Murit. Professor Akintola is a respected academic, human rights advocate, and a leading voice on religious balance and national unity in Nigeria. Professor, thank you so much for joining us on our focus today on news analysis on Politics and Business Television, Abuja.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Professor.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's start with a big question. Do you believe Khan has truly betrayed President Tinubu's trust, given how inclusive his administration has been towards Christians?
Definitely, yes. I believe the Christian Association of Nigeria and its several leaders have betrayed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the sense that the Christians themselves are the ones who confirmed that they are still enjoying the administration of President Tinubu. And we can quote the chairman of Khan in Lagos State. We can quote the chairman of Khan, Northern Nigeria. We can quote several other Christian groups. Even the Christian youths, they received 7 huge, luxurious buses from the First Lady, Her Excellency, Madam Senator Remi Tinubu, a few days ago. In spite of all that, in spite of the juicy, particularly the Muslims in the Southwest, the Muslims in the whole South, South, and Southeast, South, and Southeast, no single in the whole South. A few Muslims were given from the South, but some of them had even converted to Christianity long before they were now appointed. And so Muslims are grumbling. Apart from that, the Muslim North is grumbling because there is abandonment in the area of security. They are being killed in their hundreds by Boko Haram, ISIS, and ISWAP. Whole communities in the north have been turned into ashes. Homes have been burned up. Now, the Christians who are rejoicing, who are jubilating that this administration is the best, that they made a mistake criticizing Muslim ticket ab initio. Now they are enjoying. And yet, the pomp and pageantry of jubilation, they still went, they dived underwater to send letters to approach the foreign Congress, the US Congress, to approach a foreign government with deadly, false, and intimidating allegations, which they could not defend with statistics. Yes, there are killings in Nigeria.
Reports allege that Khan's report to the U.S. influenced Trump's labeling of Nigeria as a persecuting nation. From your perspective, does this amount to a breach of patriotism or a legitimate act of advocacy?
No, it is irresponsible advocacy.
Okay.
People are being killed. That is the fact. If we are going to lodge such complaints, such reports, we will be narrow, parochial, and hideous. We will report what is happening to Christians. We will report what is happening to Muslims. Zamfara State, Sokoto, Katsina are losing their citizens in their hundreds. All cities have been rendered asunder. The whole community, there was a report from a Muslim group that visited a Muslim community in the north. In the whole community, even 8-year-old children, 12-year-old children had memorized the Quran. These terrorists, Boko Haram, ISIS, ISWAP, when they swapped on the community, on the town, they eliminated virtually everyone. They killed virtually everyone. And only a child survived. And that child was 8 years old. And he had memorized the whole Quran. Around 2014 or 2013, a mosque in Kano, central mosque in Kano, was bombed by these terrorists. More than 100 Muslims perished in that attack. And the Christians who went to report in America, not aware of this. It is gross mischief. The mother of all betrayals for any Christian body to go and report the Nigerian government.
Professor.
The government that has played Father Christmas role for you on several occasions. The mother of this nation today, Senator Tinubu, has been most generous towards the Christians.
You've often accused
Christian communities,
okay.
And yet they had the audacity, the temerity to go and report the same administration. They are biting the finger that fed them. That's what we mean by this by this betrayal.
Okay.
If they had gone there, apart from that, instead of going to America, why didn't they go to the Senate, the Nigerian Senate? Why didn't they complain to the House of Reps? Okay, if they don't trust any agency in Nigeria, any governmental institution in Nigeria, why not go to the West African, why don't they go to ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African Communities? They could go to realism means. They know what slavery means. They know what neocolonialism means. Why must they turn themselves into agents of neocolonialism?
Professor Akintola, you've often accused some religious bodies of weaponizing faith for political gain. Is this another example of religion being used to undermine national unity?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. It is irresponsible use terms of leadership positions. We can be leaders, but you have to be responsible leaders. What are the things you can say that will cause tension in the country? What are the things you can report to foreign bodies or foreign governments that can cause turmoil in your nation, or that can cause war, or that can invite missiles from American warships across the ocean? America is capable of doing that. Should anybody imagine that we will see missiles falling on states now? We understand about 12 governors have been marked down for sanctions, attacks, and whatever. Our government houses going to be struck down with missiles from U.S. ships stationed across the seas. Is that what Nigerian Christian leaders want? If it is to instill fear, intimidation, and coercion, I think they got something else coming.
Okay, we've been talking about the Khan's betrayal, but some Nigerians, can you hear me, Professor Akintola?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so we've been talking about Khan's betrayal. My first question to you is this. You know, some Nigerians say Tinubu's inclusion of Christians in his cabinet was political appeasement, not genuine national balance. Do you think the president is now reaping the consequences of, over-accommodation?
Well, I am not in the presidency, and I don't work for government. Neither do I speak for government. But I think we should not run down government, whatever they may have done. So I wouldn't be able to say the motive behind over-accommodation of Christians in government, and the motive behind the marginalization of Muslims in the South, in the whole South. Southeastern Muslims deserve to be in government, federal government, any federal government, whether led by Muslims or Christians. They have not been accommodated. Never. No Southeastern Muslim has ever been appointed to any ministerial position, whether in their state, as commissioners, or at the federal level. South Muslims, Asari Dokubo and his team, they are there. They are competent. They are skilled. But each government has always, each administration has always ignored the Muslims in the South generally. And if we are looking for skills, there should be a holistic approach to the search for skilled and competent Nigerians. You look at the Christians, you look at the Muslims, and you balance your appointment. This administration has not done that. But the Muslims are very liberal. Not because it is a Muslim ticket, but because we cannot drag down our governments. They are our leaders. We cannot be causing them. Neither can we work towards pulling the drugs from under the blankets from under their feet. We cannot shoot them down. It's not allowed in Islam. Rebellion against our leaders, whether in politics or in religion. We must always pray for them. But I'm surprised that our brothers in the other faiths only care about what comes to them. And of course, we suspect that the motive behind this diabolic reportage was that some Christian leaders are keen on declaring themselves as what's the word? They want to declare themselves as endangered species and seek asylum from Britain, from America, from France. They want to make billions of dollars which has been happening over the years. They take pictures of these issues, they send videos to, we have come across some of them in foreign countries. I personally have come across some of them in foreign countries doing, I mean Christian clerics doing such things. And it's very, very unfortunate that our people, I think, the only thing they need to do now is to run down government and endanger the lives of Nigerians. The innocent could be affected with this. There's no country that America attacks and invades that its resources will not suffer, that its citizens will not be plundered.
Okay.
That its wealth will not be made to pay for American expenses of war.
Okay. Professor, as we wind down, what's your reaction to Trump's direct threat of possible U.S. military intervention? Should the Nigerian government treat this as a diplomatic insult or a wake-up call?
I think that threat shouldn't have come at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's the diplomatic gaffe. America could, or President Trump could have asked the Nigerian government to do more. We are Nigerians, we can testify that the Nigerian government is doing a lot to fight insurgency, to fight terrorists. And we must commend the Nigerian army. That report to America is an assault on the integrity of our gallant soldiers and our great generals in the Nigerian army. They are under pressure. But Boko Haram and other terrorists appear to be more technologically advanced than our soldiers. So instead of launching that report, we should support our army. We should support our soldiers. So I think your question. Can you come with that question again?
Okay, I'm saying that should the Nigerian government treat this as a diplomatic insult or a wake-up call?
Well, I wouldn't call it a wake-up call as that, because the Nigerian army has been doing a lot. Even the Nigerian government have been doing under the late Alhaji Muhammadu Buhari, the former president. Buhari asked for tornado jet bombers, which they believed would be effective. For years, the Nigerian government was denied. Buhari only had access to those bombers. They sold just 6 to us. And it was an unwilling state. Buhari begged for technological support, for military equipment to root out terrorists, killing Muslims, killing Christians. But the American government denied the Buhari government these weapons. Today, even the Tinubu government has not received that robust cooperation from any foreign country, including America. If you are withholding weapons from Nigeria, the implication is that you want terrorists to gain the upper hand. Then you cannot complain that terrorists are killing any group. Then the American government again must be accused of bias.
Okay.
President Trump must be accused of bias because he focused attention on Christian citizens in Nigeria at the expense of the Muslims. Muslims are also being killed in their hundreds. Both groups are dying. We expect President Trump, as a leader of the greatest democracy in the world, to also think of Muslim victims. What he should do is let us fight the terrorists. So if he's threatening to attack Nigeria, we will want the situation, because that was what we said in our statement. We will want a situation whereby terrorist enclaves in Sambisa, terrorist enclaves in Katsina. Nigeria has so many forests, like in Niger State, where those terrorists are camping, that Nigerian soldiers have not succeeded. They have not succeeded to date in uprooting them. If America strikes those enclaves, Sambisa forests, let it go.
Professor, I would really love to continue this discussion, but we're about to be chased out of the studio.
If they do that, then we will know that they are helping Nigerians, and then we will know that they are enemies. They are also enemies of terrorism. But to play a selective role, to select where to attack in a discriminate manner, is what we don't want.
Okay, Professor Ishaq Akintola.
On Muslim congregations.
Yes, thank you.
There should be no attacks on mosques. There should be no disappearance of Muslim leaders. And we know also that Mossad is involved in this. Israeli secret agents.
Okay. Allegedly.
And we know what they have done in Iran to Muslim leaders. We know what they did in Gaza to Hamas leaders, whom they tagged as terrorists. People who are defending their country, their land. They tag them terrorists. So in Nigeria, we are watching, and we are telling the world to be on the lookout. We are not enemies of Americans. We love the American citizens because we know many of them are very nice, very humane, very hospitable. It is their governments that have twisted policies that are hard to comprehend. So we will want a situation whereby the American, whatever America intends to do, if it is going to attack, if it is going to hit, our mosques are respected. Our Muslim leaders, nothing should happen to them. But when they hit terrorists, we will hail them. They have helped, it means they have helped the Nigerian government to solve a problem that had remained very hard not to crack since all these years. So help us to fight the terrorists who are killing Muslims. That's my message to President Trump. Help us to fight the terrorists who are killing Christians. But also, in your discourse, in your choice of words, please remember that the killings is both ways. Talk about those who are killing Muslims and talk about those who are killing Christians. I will also ask the Nigerian media to measure this media high. Repetition of Christian genocide in the media, on television, on radio, will be deemed as anti-Muslim. It is incitement against Nigerian Muslims. If you talk about killings, you must balance it. Remember, hundreds are being killed in Katsina. There is no week that tens of people are not killed in Sokoto. Hundreds are being killed in Zamfara. And these receive little attention. We want the media to balance it up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Ishaq Akintola. I would love to continue this discussion, but my producer is chasing me out of the studio. But I do want to thank you so much and sharing your thoughts on this very sensitive but crucial national conversation. Thank you so much, Professor Ishaq Akintola, the Executive Director of MURIC.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you, sir. At the heart of today's debate lies one truth. Patriotism should never be selective. When religion becomes a political tool, national unity becomes collateral damage. Khan's recent actions have opened an old wound, one that tests how far Nigeria's interfaith harmony can stretch before it breaks. We can't keep selling our internal problems to the world and expect respect in return. As always, our focus today leaves you with this reminder. Faith should heal the nation, not divide it, and patriotism must never wear the colors of religion. This has been our focus today on Politics and Business Television. Thank you for watching, and remember, Nigeria belongs to all of us, not religion. And that wraps up today's program, but before we go, the headlines again. Nathan Khan welcomes Trump's call for peace and unity in Nigeria. PDP power struggle intensifies as governors clash with Wike. NEMA delivers a vital relief to Kano flood victims. On the foreign scene, Vietnam devastated by record floods as death toll hits 40. For more updates and in-depth analysis, follow Politics and Business TV.English on YouTube and Facebook. Connect with us on Instagram at PMBTV_English and TikTok at PMBTV_ENG. Remember to subscribe and stay informed. From me, Fatima Abubakar Oyibo, it's bye for now.